Diet culture and conventional wisdom are not always aligned with optimal health for you. See if any of these 7 healthy habits sound familiar that may not actually be as healthy as you've made to believe for your gut, your hormones, or your metabolism. Healthy habit number 1, skipping breakfast. So fasting is so hot right now. It's the new little black dress. But research shows that fasting may not be the panacea that it's been made out to be for optimal gut health, hormones, metabolism. Skipping meals or chronic undereating can actually create more dysbiosis or gut bacteria imbalances, as well as slow down digestion, primarily because your digestive system is not having to work as hard or as often. So you're not producing as much stomach acid on a daily basis, you're not producing as many enzymes on a daily basis. Your body is kind of going through what we maybe call a famine in the gut if we are under eating repetitively. There is a time and a place for fasting, especially like intermittent fasting and just giving your body a break to rest and digest. However, with fasting being so hot right now, this is something that I see quite common actually in my clinical practice of patients coming to me that have been fasting for maybe like 30, 60 days, like regularly every day under eating. Other symptoms, aside from gut issues that can be created from too much fasting or chronic under eating, would just be like low energy and feeling fatigued, which is quite common, I think, with folks that are reaching for that 3rd cup of coffee every day, and or just feeling like you're doing all the things and seemingly not feeling better. You know, nutrients power our mitochondria and our healing and cellular processes. So if we are short-circuiting our nutrients by just not eating, that is also a side effect I see from fasting that can happen. So not to mention just obsessing over food, thinking about it more often, or maybe even feeling hangry at certain times. So when the body is in a state of undernourishment, our brain is going to tend to think about food more. You may be just thinking about like what you ate the night before, or maybe like the number of carbs in my dinner meal tonight, or what I'm gonna eat for lunch the next day when I break my fast, you name it. But our brain is wired to think about food when our body is more hungry. Even if we don't feel maybe like we're hungry as much anymore, because actually our cortisol or stress hormones have gone up, so that can also suppress our appetite when we're fasting. Our body can still let us know it's hungry by thinking about food more or just feeling more tired and fatigued as well. And not to mention, again, the digestive distress. So the bloating that we may feel when we eat a meal, it doesn't digest as fast anymore. So watch that out when you are fasting and or intermittent fasting, and make sure you're just eating enough food. Healthy habit number 2 is eating chicken and broccoli every single day. So a healthy, balanced microbiome thrives upon a varied diet. When we eat the same exact foods every single day, we end up creating the same exact species in the gut, and therefore we can actually cause some dysbiosis or gut imbalances. So if we only eat chicken every single day, we're going to have bacteria in our gut that like and prefer and eat chicken. So when we introduce something maybe like beef or eggs, something different, we may feel like we have food intolerances just because our reserves are low, our gut microbiome army is low. That can be said about any food that you eat regularly and repetitively, and then maybe when you introduce other foods in, it can hint as to why you may have food intolerances. Do you really have food intolerances, or do you just not have enough diverse gut bacteria? Healthy habit number 3 would be going meat-free or carb-free. There is a diet for everyone under the sun nowadays, and a lot of diets tend to focus on one main macronutrient. The vegetarian and vegan diets will say, oh, no meat, meat is bad. Carnivore diets would say the opposite, vegetables are bad. The ketogenic as well is going to focus on carbs being bad, especially starch in the diet. And then you have your fruitarians, you name it. The sky's the limit on the diet philosophies out there. Take it from me, a girl that's done every single diet under the sun, and come up dry every single time. There is a time and a place for these diets that can be therapeutic for the gut. However, humans are omnivores, so we were created to eat protein, fat, and carbs. Can your body make carbs from a chicken breast, like glucose? Yes, it can. However, is that an optimal source of carbs for the body, or glucose? No. Your body's gonna digest something like an apple or a sweet potato way differently than it does that chicken breast, and it sees those sources as carbs more. Similarly, can your body make protein from a mushroom or a piece of broccoli or a bean? Yes. However, does that mean that that's an optimal source of pure protein with all complete amino acids in it? No, again. Your body is going to try its best to work for you, not against you, and create proteins, fats, and carbs from whatever you're going to feed it. However, if we give the body the optimal source of those nutrients, your engine's gonna run a lot stronger. It's kind of like if you were to put unleaded gas into like a car that requires premium fuel. So say a Ferrari. If you put cheap unleaded gas into a Ferrari, is that Ferrari going to run? Yes. Is it gonna run optimally? No. That Ferrari was designed to run on premium gasoline. Healthy habit number 4, running or doing intense cardio every single day. Humans were made to move, not exercise, ultimately. Your body doesn't know the difference in running from a bear versus running on a treadmill every single day. Exercise is a productive hormetic stressor, something that creates more resiliency, more fitness, and more health overall. However, if we overdo anything, it can also be counterproductive to our health. It's sort of like if you were to go up to a barbell and say you wanted to back squat that day, and you could only squat 100 pounds. That's your typical max weight that you squat. You decide to slap on, say, like 500 pounds onto that barbell. What's gonna happen? You're probably not gonna stand up super easily. And that's just how exercise works. When we overdo it, something that was once productive can become counterproductive. Why is too much exercise counterproductive? Well, it actually increases cortisol, your stress hormone in the body. And we're not designed to run from bears all day, every day. So more food for thought right there. Healthy habit number 5, eating salads for lunch. Raw vegetables digest way differently than cooked vegetables. And for a lot of folks that tend to struggle with bloating, constipation, or just have general dysbiosis and imbalanced gut microbiome, raw salads can make us feel worse, not better. This is a lot of times why folks may come to me and say, like, I'm doing all the things. I'm eating the salads. I'm working out every day. I am drinking my protein shake with artificial sweeteners in it and not feeling much better. Salads are not a bad thing overtly. However, if you tend to struggle with some bloating after you eat them, there's a reason. Raw vegetables are more difficult to digest because your body has to work a little bit harder to break them down. You can for sure add some digestive enzymes when you eat that salad, or even toss on some like apple cider vinegar to help with digestion. Or you can try one of my favorite types of salads, which would be a cooked salad. I will flash cook my greens. I will even eat them cold and chill them overnight for the salad the next day. But those cooked greens are gonna digest a lot better than raw greens. Healthy habit number 6, starting your day and ending your day in Instagram or any social media platform, phone, or screen of your choosing. So when our body sees blue light, especially at nighttime, it's back to running from that bear. Mayday, mayday. Or it just thinks, hey, are we in day number 2 again? Blue light will stimulate the brain to think it's in day number 2. Why this matters? Well, we're not gonna sleep super optimally. It can actually decrease our melatonin, which is our sleep onset hormone. Starting your day or ending your day in social media or a newsfeed, whatever you choose, has a tendency to stress us out. Sometimes I just can feel my heart beating faster just thinking about like needing to post to Instagram, for example, or what I read on my newsfeed earlier that day. A way to workshop this would just be to establish a phone-free or screen-free morning routine and evening routine that really gets your body into a peace mode. Lastly, healthy habit number 7, swearing off bad foods completely. When we live in all or nothing mode, what do we want? What we can't have. It's sort of like when you were growing up and your mom said, don't eat the cookies before dinner. What did you want? Obviously, the cookies before dinner. I like to encourage my clients to live by an 80-20 balance rule, i.e. no perfection. When in Rome, try the real pasta. On your birthday, eat a slice of cake. If your friends invite you to go out to dinner on Friday night, go. Live your life. This style of eating, 80-20, actually supports the hygiene hypothesis. You know, in immunology, the cleaner we are, the sicker we get. People who overly sanitize or overly stay clean tend to have more suppressed immune systems. So when we think about this on a food perspective and staying metabolically and digestively flexible, when we have a little dirt that never hurt, our digestive system and our metabolism actually work a little bit stronger. Basically, the cleaner we are with food, the more intolerances and sensitivities and gut issues we can develop. Total permission to practice 80-20 balance. Well, that's it for 7 healthy habits that may be wrecking your gut, your hormones, and metabolism. If any of these inspired you, just pick one to start with and break the rules.